Today I'm going to teach you how to plant a bare root tree. Hi everybody, welcome to Living Traditions Homestead. My name is Sarah, and it just so happens that one of our fruit trees was delivered today, and I'm going to plant it. It's a bare root plum tree, and I'm going to take you along and teach you what to do. So generally, when you order from a nursery company, when you order a bare root tree, they will determine when it's the appropriate time to ship them to you based on the dormancy of the tree. That's one thing about ordering bare root trees, is they just kind of show up, and then you need to rearrange your schedule to put them in the ground, and you need to put them in the ground within a day or two of receiving them in the mail. I want to show you what a bare root tree looks like and talk with you a little bit about some of the parts of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and teach you what I've learned about planting a bare root tree. So when you receive your bare root tree in the mail, it normally comes in a long, thin box, and when you open it up, it's packaged up, and the roots, which look like this, are wrapped in moistened some kind of material. The company that I ordered this from, they packaged it in like shredded newspaper. So the first thing that you need to do prior to planting is you need to fill up a bucket full of water and get these roots inside the water for about 1 to 2 hours before you plant. Soften them up, wake them up a little bit, give them some of the moisture that they have been lacking in shipment. It's important though not to leave these roots in here for like overnight or something, only 1 or 2 hours, otherwise they could start rotting, and you don't want that to happen. So a couple things that you're going to see on your little tree, and it looks kind of sad, right? It's just like a stick with roots hanging out the bottom. But it's very important for you to take a look at kind of the structure of the tree that they've sent you. A couple things that you're going to be noticing is here, this little bump here. This is down here the root stock, and then up here is the tree that you're actually going to be producing fruit off and that kind of thing. And then the other thing that you're going to take note of is the very first section of roots, okay? The ones that are closest to the top, because that's going to be a landmark for us when we plant this in the ground. And then after that, we just have to dig a hole and make sure that the tree roots fit in there. So I have actually had Kevin dig the hole for me. So I want to go over there and talk with you a little bit about the hole. Okay, so a couple things. One trick that I want to tell you about is that when you're digging the hole and you're putting your dirt off to the side, it's a good idea to put something down, like a piece of cardboard or something here, so that all of the dirt that you've dug out actually remains somewhere usable. Otherwise, for some reason, somehow, when you don't do this, all of your dirt, like, it disappears into the grass, and you end up with only like 2/3 of the dirt that you need. So this is a good idea to do. But I also wanted to show you the hole that we've dug here. It looks kind of crazy, right? You think about a hole that you dig for a tree as being a big circle, and you just stick the, roots down in there, cover them up, and there you go. Well, I want to suggest to you that you actually dig a hole that is the shape of the root stock of the tree. If you can see that the root stock that they sent me, the root system is kind of long and narrow. It's narrow this way, but it's long this way. And so that's why we dug a hole that really is the shape of the root stock. And so when you put it down in there, you want it to almost reach the bottom without having to shove the roots into the ground. And you want the hole to be just a tad bit wider than the root system, so the roots can grow where they naturally direct to. So you're not shoving them in a direction and forcing them to grow in a direction that isn't natural for them. That's important. Okay, so let's get planting. The very first thing is obviously to put your root system down in the hole that you have dug. And remember I told you before that you need to pay attention to where this top line of roots here. The best thing that you can do is to make sure that this little area of roots here, this top section, is is even with or just below the ground. And I have a trick to show you to do that. So to control how deep you're planting your tree, because you absolutely don't want to plant it too deep, I have a trick for you. Take a board, a 2x4, or in this case, I'm using a piece of PVC, and so that I can put it right down here at ground level, so I can tell exactly where ground level is. Sometimes if you're digging up the sides with the shovel, or if you're tall, your grass is real tall, it's hard to see where ground level is. And then you can use that as a guide to hold your roots down in the ground just underneath the level of the dirt. And you can use that and keep your hand here while you're starting to backfill with your dirt so that this isn't going to be planted too far down. So once you have the tree roots to the right depth, you just want to eyeball and make sure that the tree looks like it's pretty level. In a little bit, we'll take a step back and make sure that it looks okay. But from here, sometimes it gives you a little bit of trouble because you're just so close to it. So the next step is to start backfilling with dirt. Once you have the hole filled about 1/3 of the way, then you want to start tamping down that soil to make sure that it gets within all of those cracks and holes and crevices that you've created with the soil. So you just want to take a stick, or I don't know, stick works good for me, and just firmly poke around down in there to make sure that the soil is getting in all of those spots. Now you can see that already, even though we barely put much soil in there at all, this tree is getting kind of sturdy. So this is the first opportunity for us to step back and look at the direction that everything is facing, making sure that it's as level and even, straight up and down as possible. So we've straightened it out and we've filled it up another 1/3 of the way. And so now we're just going to tamp that down in there again with our stick. Every time we do this, it strengthens that tree in that hole, makes it nice and sturdy. As soon as we're done with this, we'll add the final layer. Okay, so we have the last layer of soil in. I've already tamped it down with my stick, and I want to come and show you, I want you to come in here, and I want to show you that this top root is basically even with the soil. Now we're going to put the grass back, and so it will be nice and even, but I'm going to just keep this open here. It's important to make sure that this tree is not too low in the ground so it doesn't rot out and die. So the last step for us is to put the grass back over here. Okay, that was the final step. So I hope if you have been worried about buying bare root plants and starting them, I hope that you realize that it really isn't that hard. It's no big deal, and you should give it a try. Totally easy. You can do it. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by the homestead today. If you like what you're seeing and you enjoy our channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. I'd love for you guys to comment or have questions on this video, and make sure you share our videos with your friends and family. Until next time, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.